saji bogi junshime to dhamari raval ida genba de sangi shindo minte bulwa Drugunam dajinda chudvarasho idam guru ratnamanda kamne adaya mi simchanam ge sambata loye childrawan shichondun modiba shugi gurlo gurdu
오면 저긴 게 뭐잖아. 무슨 상게 군영원. 라슴 주고 무슨 된전배 저희라 메셔블 차기요. 발든지 대원 저게 주변 지구 결과 저기 제 다연도나 밴데 제반부. 발든 루그셔블 차기요. 발든 저희라 말은 뭐지. 다기닝 거베 메슨 매번 다고르는 게 고성도기 챙길라도스. 무슨 상게 담 지경오 리당하긴 걸 계속 캡다. 가든 송담마시 바 제전자 라마담베. 샵기 베모드 좀 매발로 고스너도 되는 거 배차 세션 쳐도 계속 치고 다 당로면 규칭길라 번제도 먼저 남과 당연 베심전 담지 거와 등의 얘기해서는 제대로 남바 담지 게마선 저기는 도저히 장한 지면 고만은 거 버차 이체도 담배 쉬기 칭해서 먼저 오게 와라 보는다 군주를 만남 도기를 묻지는 지신 성마 set up December show some of you newcomers maybe we can do the ground up the ground foundation. So such things are necessary because first thing as a Buddhist, foundation of the being a Buddhist is to have a belief in the karma, cause and condition. That is the foundation. When you have a belief in the karma, then all other will slowly kind of seem to make sense. If you do not believe in the karma, then many things which we do, whether it's offering, whether it's prostration, etc., will not make that much of a sense. So firstly, it is the belief. When we have a belief in the karma, then I think it is called we call it the yang takwita, the one who has the right view. And then after that, then we talk about the samsaric renunciation, etc. Then we are entering the Theravadan level of renunciation, and the refuge comes. And then the bodhicitta, and then the vajrayana. Then when we enter the Vajrayana, then we start talking about in the Mahayana, we start talking about the 6 paramitas, the generosity, etc. And then in the Vajrayana, we start talking about the union of emptiness and appearance, and like His Holiness was saying, about the non-conceptual. Yet you are doing, the offering, etc. But while having a realization that what you're offering is also not inherently existing. That's also a union. So, and the Tara practiced, is a kind of when you enter the Vajrayana, especially within the, within the Drupa lineage, for example, it's within the Sarma teaching. Within the Vajrayana, there are said to be 4 levels of Vajrayana practice. The first one is called the action tantra. The second one is called the Chögyu, which means the behavior, and then the yoga tantra, and then the great yoga tantra, Nenjor Lamegu, the unsurpassable yoga tantra. And these practices also, it's almost like the action tantra, which is the Tara practice, belongs to. It is kind of in a way you can say kind of closer to conservativeness of the Buddhism, the Mahayana Buddhism. For example, as Tara practitioner in the action tantra, you have supposed to keep very clean. You are not supposed to eat meat, not eat egg, nor even offer egg to the Tara, the practice during the practice, and no alcohol, and basically it's very much. Still very much, you are practicing the visualizations, etc. But in terms of behavior, it's very, very close with the Mahayana, and very kind of the strictness, discipline is very much recommended. Now, when you reach, the certain higher level of the young, like a young tick, etc. If we start to discriminate, saying that, this offering we can offer, this we cannot offer. This is clean, this is a dirty. The moment you have a concept, you are far away from the Dzogchen, far away from the Mahamudra. So the moment you have a concept that something can be offered or cannot be offered, we are assuming that because we believe that something inherently exists. Right? No? Because if something inherently exists, that is why we are saying this is something dirty, because dirty is something that inherently exists. Right? And if dirty is something inherently existing, I feel that recycling will not be possible. The reason why recycling is possible, we drink something and then it comes out of our toilet, etc. Then either is recycled by the machine, or it goes into the ocean and then it goes into the vapor and the cloud, and then the cloud comes to Himalaya and then we drink the Himalayan spring water, right? And we are very happy to drink the Himalayan spring water, but our own toilet is considered very dirty. And but somehow I think we human beings, I always feel that we human beings always like to, hide we like to, kind of delude ourselves, right? We like to pretend that toilet doesn't come out of we don't do toilet. Maybe that's why we always like to have a very beautiful bathroom, Then we can pretend that we are not in the bathroom, we are in the living room, watching television, and we ignore what we are doing, just pretend that. The reason why a so-called toilet can also be recycled into water is because there is no single atom or entity called a dirty that is inherently existent. Because of the condition, cause and condition, you can say whatever, that it is dirty, it is clean, etc. But the reason why it can be all clean, can become dirty, dirty can become clean, is because nothing has inherent existence. If something is inherently existing, it cannot be changed. So that's why at the yangtik level, even offering-wise also, there's nothing that cannot be offered because everything is emptiness. Everything is nothing, not inherently existing. So, so that's why in the deities also, in the yangtik you don't have, but in the higher deities you even have the yabum, the male and female Buddhas joined together, which you will not find in the action tantra, like the Tara, etc. You will not find. So the reason, the yab and yum also, the yab, the male Buddha represents the existing and the method, and the female Buddha represents the non-existing part, and two of them joined together means everything is unioned by nature. All the forms are union because everything is empty yet appearing. All the sounds are union of emptiness and appearance. All emotions are union of emptiness appearance. So in order to emphasize that very kind of in your face, that is why in the higher level of Tantra there is, the male and female Buddhas are joined. And most of us usually we do not kind of understand that. We like to think that, our guru is the male Buddha, and the female Buddha we try to ignore, if possible we try to, that is like maybe his secret girlfriend that we try to, not to look and try not to think about it too much, It's okay, But actually, the fact is that, the male Buddha is also your guru, and the female Buddha is equally your guru. It is just that the male represents existing part, and the female Buddha represents a non-existing part, and two of them together represents that all the phenomena are from the beginningless time in the union of emptiness, appearance, and etc. In order to highlight it. But in the in the action tantra, like Tara practice, etc., the union is there, but it is not so highlighted. For example, the green Tara holds a lotus. The lotus represents, the lotus, represents the male part, the existing part. And for example, sometimes the Dakinis also, they're holding just a trident. The trident represents the male, the existing part. Even the Vajra, because from the Tara practice itself, we start holding the Vajra and the bell. Bell represents emptiness, Vajra represents the existing part, and when we start holding this together, we are a Vajrayana practitioner that understands the meaning of the union. So that is why the action tantra, the Tara practice, etc., is the first level of practice. And in the India, I believe also there were four different castes in the early day. The king, the Brahmin, which are said to be who believe very much in cleanliness, and then the king's caste, and the ordinary, and then the low caste, so that they do all the selling the meat and cleaning, etc. So that is why also they say the teaching was also the four yanas are said suitable for them. So from the samsaric point of view, the one who has a very strong idea of what is clean, what is dirty, what is set, is considered, very proper. But from the nature point of view, the more concept you have of what is clean and what is dirty, more we are stuck in the samsara, and more you are suffering. Because we have a very fanatic view of, rather than understanding that what we find desirable is a manifestation of your desire. When we like somebody, that person we see as a friendly or beautiful or etc. And the very same person, when we hate it, in our hatred makes us see that person as enemy or undesirable, etc. Right? And this is very easy. This is but I just that we don't analyze our life. Just imagine that right now you are married to somebody, and there is somebody that somebody who really hates your wife, or your husband. You will equally hate that person, even though you don't know that person, you don't know him, and he doesn't know you, but you will hate that person, he or she, because he or she is bad to your wife, and you are attached to your wife. And anything that whenever we are attached to something, that attachment makes us project that person or object as a desirable or beautiful. And anything that is obstacle to our desirable becomes our enemy. Right? So then, as long as you have that, as long as you love your wife or your husband, whoever is bad to your husband or wife, you will hate that person. You might even kill that person, even though you don't even know his name or her name. But if something happens between you and your husband or wife, that you divorce your husband or wife, suddenly, you don't hate that person anymore, right? You might even get together with him and talk about how bad your wife was, yes, before I used to hate you because I thought, that, my wife was right, but now you are right, You will come talk together and talk about how bad your husband or wife was. Because your attachment, to your husband has gone. So the hatred automatically goes because, it is the desire that projects friend, and it's the obstacle to desire that projects, and the enemy, and etc. So anyway, so that is why, from a social point of view, someone who has the more stronger the concept, he's a very clean, very nice, this is very dirty, etc. From the normal point of view, yes, and we are supposed to respect that because right now we are at this level. So definitely, we have to, for example, when we are doing the Tara practice, we have to very much keep ourselves clean. Offering has to be clean. Why? Because we are at that level. But even though we have to respect that level, we have to break that level in order to go up, right? But while we order to go up, breaking that level, we have to respect where we are too. Right? Some people tell me, can I do my mantra in the bathroom? And I always say, would you like to have your first date in the bathroom? Is that have you reached that level? If you have, then no problem. No problem for the Tara, right? It is not that it is nothing to do with the Tara or a Guru Padma Sambhava. It has to do with our level and the practice that we are doing. It is not that Tara is a vegetarian and Guru Padma Sambhava is a non-vegetarian. It just means that there are some practices. I'm sure it may not have been translated in Himalaya, but there may be some Tara practice which are of the higher yoga.